The name Moses, by definition, means son or son of. Therefore, Luke 9, verse 33 makes it clear that he is the chosen one. Therefore, he is the Son of God, or the man of the true God. Don't forget that God made man in his image. Hence, Moses is Christ. So let's read. Moses, by definition, has many names. And one of his names is Solomon. So let's get to it. Regarding Solomon, the son of the king. So who is Solomon in Psalm 72? David. So the prayers of David, the son of Jesse, has come to their end. When? When Psalm 72 ends. Therefore, Solomon goes by the name of David. Why? Because he was named after his father. That's why in Psalm 89 it says, I have concluded a covenant towards my chosen one. I have sworn to David my servant, even to time indefinite I shall firmly establish your seed. So who is the chosen one? David, right? So David goes by the name of Solomon, and Solomon is Moses. So look what it says. Holy ark of the Lord in the house that King Solomon, the son of David, had built. And we all know there's only one ark of the covenant and it was built by Moses. Hence, Solomon is Moses. Solomon is David. Solomon is the chosen one. Hence, David, who goes by the name of Moses, is the chosen one. For Moses, one for Elijah, he not realizing what he was saying, but as he was saying these things, a cloud formed and began to overshadow them as they entered into the cloud. So Moses and Elijah go into the cloud because they're angels. Remember, Christ is the angel of the Lord. And a voice came out of the cloud saying, this is my son, the one who has been chosen. Why? Because the name Moses by definition means son or son of. Therefore, Moses is the son of God. And God is Elijah. So who is Elijah? God himself. You will stand in the house of Jehovah in the courtyards of our God. Praise Jah, for Jehovah is good. In other words, Jah is Jehovah, Jehovah is Jah. Jah is God, Jah is Jacob. Jah is Israel. So Israel for his special property. For Jah has chosen even Jacob for himself. So Jacob is God himself. Therefore, Jacob, who is God himself, is in Mount Sinai talking to Moses. And we just saw that Moses is talking to Elijah. Hence, and Moses went up into the midst of God and the glory of the Lord, and abode on Mount Sinai, and a cloud overshadowed it 6 days. And he called to Moses on the 7th day. So who called on to Moses? His father Jacob. So let's read. God acknowledged Jacob as the firstborn. Why? Because God is the firstborn. And gave him his inheritance. He fixed the boundaries for his tribes into 12. And from him was to spring the man who won favor of all, dear to God and men, Moses. In other words, Jacob is God, and from Jacob sprang Moses. Why? Because Moses is the chosen one. Moses is Solomon. Moses is David. So let's read. Some jested that Ethiopia fell victim to fascist aggression in short period of 7 to 8 months. But history has mocked the jesters by showing that those who laughed in mockery lost their battle for freedom in a matter of days only. The vital resources of a nation are, as we have already said, the people's selfless dedication and vigilance to overcome difficulties. Haile Selassie I. So let's watch what they did. Remember, they created an Old and New Testament format because they did not want you to know that Moses is supposed to be here at the end of times as Solomon. So let's watch.
The slave Bible was actually a book of the Bible that didn't have any passages that would cause revolution. That means 90% of the text was taken out. Most of the text from the Old Testament, you know, all that Moses stuff, all that let my people go, all that we got they all open split.
You see what they did? They were slick. They made you think by creating an Old and New Testament format that the story of Moses happened already. So you won't look forward to it happening again. So he just proved that the slave Bible basically took out the stories of Moses. Why? Because Moses is supposed to be here at the end of time. So let's watch. Esdras the priest bring the law of Moses that was given of the Lord of the God of Israel in the first day of the 7th month. There you will find the God Most High, the God of hosts, the Almighty, also Jesus. So Jesus is together with Moses and the Most High. And when are they supposed to be here? I, Esdras, also named as Moses, received a charge of the Lord upon Mount Horeb that I should go unto Israel. But when I came unto them, they set me at naught and despised the commandment of the Lord. In other words, the commandment of the Lord is supposed to come at the end of times. So thou shalt come in the end of the world, and there you shall look for your shepherd. So the shepherd is supposed to come at the end of the world. That's why they went out their way to change up the Bible by creating the Old and New Testament format during the Renaissance period. And they created their own people like Paul. So Paul's writings, which was made up during the Renaissance period, was basically meant to change the timing and to change God's words.
There were two different lanes that Christianity took. There's still to today. Christianity is one of the most segregated and separated parts. But one thing that we do know is that the Bible that slaves were given was not the Bible of the East, was not the original Bible.
Was not the Ethiopian Bible. Remember, the book of Enoch is an Ethiopian book. So what does it says? The word of the blessing of Enoch, wherewith blessed the elect. So who is the elect? The elect of God. Haile Selassie I, who was here during the times of tribulation.
Little Ethiopian monarch, Haile Selassie I, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, King of kings, power of the Trinity.
Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. So you notice he is the elect of God, elect of himself. And when is he here? During tribulation. Listen.
A world is crashing. It is the beginning of the end of the League of Nations. Imperturbably, pathetic but purposeful, a small, thin man of great dignity stands before the representatives of the nations assembled in the League at Geneva. Italy had invaded this man's country.